entering Masisi Radio. Ayy.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of Wake It Up. I'm your host, Garcia, and we have a hell of a show for you guys tonight. To start it off, I want to say happy Pride to all of my queers out there. I hope this month has been full of fun, friends, and a little bit of mess. Pride in Miami is always a great time, especially if you love rainy parades, overpriced drinks, outstanding drag, and sleep deprivation. Going a little bit into straight business, the whole world right now, myself included, is ensnarled in the grips of a show called Love Island. But it seems that the gay agenda has crept its way into the villa this season. Another piece of media that has the whole world ensnarled and has the most nauseating discourse trending on Twitter is the new film Obsession. But what has the whole world obsessed with this new movie? The World Cup has taken over Miami and pretty much the rest of North America, but it's creating cultural exchanges that can only be created by Carla Sofia Gascon. Tonight, we have Dizzy Smarp with us. I'm going to be picking his brain and getting into the mind of the artist. And at the end of the show, he's going to deliver an amazing performance. And a little bit later on, we're going to be talking about all the things that you're thinking of, like the rise of fascism in Latin America, DSA in NYC, the earthquake doublet that hit Venezuela, AI data centers, flock cameras, white gays, secret societies, and so much more things that have rocked our news cycle this month. So strap in, pour your glass, spark your blunt, and let's wake it up. All right, everybody. So tonight I want to get it started with talking about this show called Love Island. So Love Island, everybody's watching it, everybody's into it, the whole world is talking about it, but I think it's very important to note that this season has gone from Love Island to Gay Island. And I know we could talk about the obvious, Zach and Bryce and all of the memes that they found, all of the gifs of them together in the 24-hour live stream. However, I think the real tea points at Trinity and Melanie. Trinity, I see you, girl. You're there. You want to kiss the girls, but you want to get your $100,000. So you're going to play your role with Bryce. You're going to get your Nico Landria moment. And you're going to ride it all the way until the end and get that coin. I feel it for you. And Melanie, baby, you're a girl kisser. I see it in you. You want to kiss everybody every opportunity that you can get, and keep doing it. We're going to keep you in that villa to see how many of the girls that you are going to kiss. But that is the gay island that I'm looking at. Fuck Zach and Bryce. Moving on. I think that some of the islanders that have been lost to us, like Soul and Gabriel, were done super, super dirty. Soul, I felt like she got isolated and nobody was really messing with her from the very beginning, but she kind of clocked it, and so she knew, she was ready. But Gabriel didn't expect it. Gabriel didn't know. And so I feel like the boys were justified in spazzing, but the girls got them together real quick, and so it was kind of like, oh, it never even happened. So Gabriel and Soul, sorry about it. Talking about Casa Amor, I feel like Casa Amor was not as exciting as I expected it to be. I feel like the first challenge definitely woke it up, but from there, it kind of just felt kind of lackluster. However, I will say the recoupling was peak. Trinity and Melanie, please come here, get your baddies chain. Y'all handled it very, very well. Y'all made sure that everybody knew what was up. Y'all clocked Casey, y'all clocked Corbin. And the thing is, though, this might be a little controversial. TT, you're going to have to get that baddies chain too, baby, TT, because you woke it up. You said, who going to shut me up? And I loved it. Parmita, you don't have to work on it because you were shut. You were scared. You let Corbin drown, and them girls ate him up. But Miss TT, she got it together, and I really, really loved it. I really, really love Love Island. I wasn't super into it, but watching it and getting into it, okay, I understand what the hype is about. And we have to give it its props because it's likely the reality competition show with the highest black winner percentage. 10 out of 16 winners of Love Island are black, and I think that's something notable because that doesn't happen in a lot of reality TV shows. So props to Love Island. Make sure you're watching, and we'll keep talking about it as long as it's trending. Moving on, I want to get into the movie Obsession. So I feel like this past month, everybody was talking about this movie Obsession. And the discourse was absolutely insane because I feel like if you were an intelligent person and you watched the movie Obsession, it was very, very, very clear that Bear was the bad guy. Bear was the villain. There was no question about it. There was no nuance to it. Bear was the bad guy. And yes, he might not have had ill intent when it came to his wish, but the way that everything went down afterwards, that was completely on him. He sexually assaulted this girl for no reason. She made it very clear that it was not her that he was talking to. And the only thing he could say is, why don't you love me? Why don't you want me? Because you're freaking creepy, bro. Like, it was insane. And so, overall, I really love the movie. I wish more people understood what it was really about. But kudos to Curry Barker. He's a young director, 26 years old, not a Nepo baby. He was working on YouTube short films, posting them up, and eventually he got noticed, and now he's on the silver screen. He made this movie with only $750,000, and he managed to rack in $300 million worldwide, which is an incredible accomplishment. And so it's dope to see a low budget film getting such like high credits. However, it didn't work out like that for everybody. The art director claims that she made less than $7,000 working on this film, and the lead actress claims she made less than $20,000 working on this film. Now, if this film made $300 million and the creatives behind this film, such as the art directors, the actors, the grips, the lighting people, they're the ones that made this film as iconic as it is. The director can do only so much, but the ones that are putting the work in are the ones behind the scenes. So to let them go home with such a lackluster paycheck after such immense success and brush it off as, oh, they're gonna have amazing opportunities in the future, I think it's a bit disappointing. So I think that can be something that can be rearranged. But once again, I don't want to knock Curry Barker. I don't think he really controls who gets paid. Also, he had the opportunity to get more money for the film. A lot of the studios that he was pushing it to had asked him to make Bear the hero of the film, and they would give him more money if he made Bear the hero of the film, and he rejected all of them. So once again, hats off to Curry Barker. A couple other films I think that are really worth mentioning that came out recently are, for one, Backrooms from 20-year-old Kane Parsons. He's not a Nepo baby, he's like Nepo baby adjacent, but he was 20 years old, and he made this film from his YouTube shorts off of some super cool creepypasta lore that if you know, you know. And it's definitely a high accolade, but I really, really want to point out that the two movies that didn't get a lot of shine that really should have gotten the same shine as Obsession and Backrooms are Is God Is and I Love Boosters. Those two films were absolutely incredible. I Love Boosters was honestly one of the best films I've seen in a long time. Beautiful, colorful, amazing characters, amazing plot. It threw you for a loop 1,000 times. And so if you haven't had the opportunity, please go see that. Please support black films, because the same way that these white 20-somethings are getting the opportunities to make these movies and becoming major successes, we should be giving those same opportunities to young black directors and young black creatives. And the only way we're going to do that is if we show these studios that there's value in black films. So if you get the opportunity, please support these black movies. Also want to give a shout out for Leviticus, because gay horror movie, it's just out. I haven't had the chance to see it, but I've heard great things. And yes, support the communities that you are a part of. Next up, I want to talk about the World Cup. I am not a big sports fan, actually, but I always kind of like soccer. But the World Cup is something that really activates everybody, and it makes everybody want to get up and do something and watch the games and celebrate. And so there's a lot of really cool activations happening in Miami. I personally went to the one in Bayside that's happening now. Definitely worth checking out. I think it's really cool for families. There's a lot of really cool things for kids to do, a lot of games and activations from different companies. But also, more than anything, it's the feeling of being there and just like seeing the people that are proud of their countries that are competing. It's an incredible experience, and just when they make the goals and everybody's screaming and the music plays, it's something that you don't really get to experience, especially since the World Cup isn't always here in the United States. And so if you have the chance, please check out some of the activations that are happening here in Miami. And also, please check them out for the amazing cultural exchanges that are happening. This World Cup is in 3 different countries all throughout North America. You have it in Canada, the United States, and Mexico. And so there are like crazy cultural exchanges happening. I live in Little Havana, and looking out my window, I saw like what seemed to be 1,000 Scottish men walking in kilts down the street. Crazy to see when you live in an area like which is pretty much all Cubans. But really, really dope. I literally had never seen that before. Also, just seeing online the videos of like the Koreans in Mexico getting drunker than they've ever been in their life. super, super dope. And I think it's just worth noting that this World Cup feels really special in that regard, especially as like dangerous and shaky the climate of the world has been. So shout out to that. But nothing comes without controversy. Recently in Seattle, there was a Pride Night scheduled for the World Cup matches. Seattle, that soccer stadium uses that date, June 26th, every year for their Pride match. And this year, it just so happened that it followed upon the match of Egypt and Iraq. And so when that happened, the two countries, as Muslim countries, they felt as it was disrespectful to be putting up the flag and supporting homosexuality. I understand respecting culture, I understand respecting boundaries, but at the end of the day, when we have had World Cups in Muslim countries, we have respected their customs, we have respected their cultures, and so I feel as you are on our home turf, where it is legal, where gay marriage is fully supported, I mean, not fully supported, but as of now, fully supported, you need to kind of deal with it. I feel like there was no problem putting pride flags in the stadium. And honestly, the people in Seattle didn't go as hard as I expected them to go. I felt like I would have seen much more, but they did show up and they did show out. And so shout out to the gays that maybe made some people uncomfortable, but made it known that we are here, we are queer, and there's nothing you can really do about it at the end of the day. And so with that being said, I would like to talk about Pride in Miami. Pride in Miami is something that's super, super special. I feel like we celebrate Pride pretty much all year round. Starting in January, you have Hollywood Pride, and that's a really, really fun activity. It's very family-friendly, family-oriented. It's all day, and it's just really, really fun. You have really good performances, really amazing drag queens coming out, and it starts the year off right and shows you, like, we're going to be proud of who we are from the beginning to the end. And then coming up in April, next after Hollywood Pride in April, we have Miami Beach Pride. Really, really great event, more adult-centered, but once again, you have amazing stages, amazing drag, amazing performers, and it's something to always look forward to. I feel like you go and you just know that you're gonna have a good time there. You're gonna drink, you're gonna be with your friends, you're gonna walk around, you're gonna sweat, but you're gonna have a good time. So shout out to Miami Beach Pride, and also I wanna give a shout out to Jeff and Tony from Hollywood Pride. You guys do a lot of work for, not just Hollywood Pride, but for the community, so thank you for all that you do. Also in Miami, coming into actual Pride Month, we have Stonewall Pride, which is more in the Miami greater area, Wilton Manors, but that's always one of the best events of the year. Everybody likes to go out. They have a block party all day. All of the gay clubs, all of the gay establishments there have their doors open, welcoming everybody, and it's just a great celebration. This year it did get super rainy, so the parade didn't really happen as expected, but the gays didn't care. Everybody came out. Everybody was wet and sweaty and nasty and tonguitas and wings and whatever it is that everybody wears. And it was still a really, really great time. So shout out to Wilton Manors Pride, Stonewall Pride for making it happen and not letting the rain on our parade, literally. And lastly, we have Wynwood Pride, which is always a really, really big event here in Miami proper. And so Wynwood Pride it's been evolving in the past few years, and their big event was Big Wig. Big Wig was this weekend, and it was absolutely amazing. I think last year's was really great, but this year they really went above and beyond. The new location really made it feel like you were at a festival. Every room felt very separate from the other one, so it was different experiences in whichever room that you went to, which I think is very exciting. Outstanding drag, as always. You had drag from all over the greater Miami area performing at Big Wig, and from even outside of Florida. I saw some new performers that I hadn't seen before, and now they're on my radar. I think it's really dope to have things like that. There's not a lot of like drag Coachellas, and so to say that we have one here in Miami is such a pride. Hoping that one day they can mix this Dragcella with the music festival that they did in before, because everybody loved that festival, but even still, Wynwood Pride makes sure that you have something going on every single weekend. No matter what, you're going to have something to do. You look on their calendar, there's going to be some sort of party that you can connect with. So shout out to Wynwood Pride. You guys always make it real for Miami. And I want to give a thanks, a shout out, and a little bit of a critique to the gay venues that we have in Miami and just general venues. It's just, we need to understand that we are sort of in a queer renaissance here in Miami, and the queer underground is really taking over and really making noise. People want to come to our parties. People want to see what we're doing. People want to hear our music and acknowledge that and do better and give the people what they deserve, give the DJs what they deserve, give the production teams what they deserve, because the more that there's back and forth, the more that people feel like they're not getting what they deserve, the more likely it is that these people are going to leave Miami. And the more people that leave Miami, the less of the culture that we have. Miami has such a beautiful, beautiful, diverse, queer culture, and we cannot lose that. So talk to your collectives, talk to your people, and make sure that everybody's happy and everybody's on the same page. And so with that concludes all of my trending topics for this episode. And now I would like to bring out a very special guest, Mr. Dizzy Smarp. Hello, love.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm doing good. Chilling.
I love that.
Sexy. Being beautiful, black and queer.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for being the first official guest.
Clean, clean.
Okay, so let's get into it. I want to know about you. I feel like I know you, but I want to get into your brain and see who is Dizzy Smarp so people can really, really feel you. So to start, I want to know. So you have a background coming from Bluefields, Nicaragua, a port city on the Caribbean coast with a heavy West Indian population. Tell me about that and how it influenced you and your upbringing.
So growing up in Bluefields is a very small town with a little bit of a closed mindset, if we would say, like growing up as a queer person there. But it was always fun. Of course, we're Caribbean. We're always turning up. We're always full of culture, full of diversity. Like, you walk on the street, you're going to hear people talking in English, in Patois, in Spanish. So that, like, I'm already used to the diversity and used to different cultures within my cultures, if you say so. So I'm very appreciative of that. Like, yeah, Bluefields is fun. Visit Bluefields if you can.
Shout out Bluefields. There's a heavy influence of Jamaican and New Orleans Creole culture in Bluefields, and they're also the origin of Maypole music. Do you feel like those cultures really influence your sound and who you are as an artist?
Absolutely. Like in Bluefields, we listen to a lot of Jamaican artists. We listen to a lot of Trini artists. We listen to a lot of like soca. What's the other genre? Dancehall, of course. We have reggae and all that. So that definitely influenced what I do now because I do reggaeton, but I also implement my Caribbean culture into it, like fusing my songs with dancehall verses or my instrumentals with dancehall beats or reggae beats and things like that. So yeah, I definitely grew up like listening to that, and now that's part of Dizzy Smarp.
Yes, I love that. And so you mentioned coming from Bluefields, it is a very closed culture. And so as a queer person growing up in an Afro-Caribbean household, there could be many challenges. How do you think that played a role in who you are today as an artist?
So growing up queer in a Caribbean household, we all know it's kind of a hell, but like, I think that it helped me a lot in standing on who I am and knowing who I am without like backing down of my identity or what I want to show myself as. Like I would be questioned about the way I dress or the way I talk or the way I act, but I think that's everything that makes me special now and what makes Dizzy special. So yeah, I'm a little bit of a, how will we say that? I got a strong personality due to that because I'm like, you're not going to tell me what I'm going to wear today, sir. Or you're not going to tell me what I'm going to do today, ma'am. So I'm sorry about it, but like it's unapologetic now because of that.
Come on. And so do you feel like that strong personality is what drives you through navigating such a machismo space such as reggaeton?
Absolutely. I'm always like here to like let them know like queer people are talented, even more talented than some of these straight men. Some straight men are very lackluster. Y'all don't bring nothing to the table, first of all. All y'all be boring. Y'all got girls shaking ass in it. I mean, I got girls shaking ass because they're sexy and we gotta appreciate like the butt and the titties. No shade. But like, if that's the only thing you can bring, then sir, just sit down at this point. No shade.
Definitely. So your interest in music started young when you were freestyling with your friends and with your cousins.
Correct.
And so what major musical influences led you to start making raps and freestyling?
So I grew up mostly like listening to rap music in my household. We had a lot of like, I grew up with my cousins, so there was people listening to R&B. One room, there was people. Plus that, like being in Latin America, you grew up with your cousins and there are like 6 people in one room. So it was like, this one is listening to R&B, this one is listening to rap, this one is listening to hip hop. Then my grandparents were listening to like country music and reggae music. So it's like a lot of things was put on to me very young, so I grew up like with a very extended like taste for music. But I think it helped me in the fact that it was like the culture and understanding what is going on outside of the Caribbean, because not every Caribbean household listen to what we used to listen to, honestly. And yeah, it brought it in my ear and my love for music, of course. But I would say the things that influenced me back then to rap was the fact that there's a lot of artists at home that are really bad, and I thought I would do it better than them, and I did. So that's why I started making music, because I'm like low-key better than 70%, just to be like not cocky about it.
No, I
like, y'all gotta step it up, no shade.
I love that. And so... I love it. So I hear you have an affinity for biology and evolution. Would you say that those interests play into your music or your process?
I low-key don't think so. It's just like a personal interest, if I'm being honest. Like, before going to bed, I will listen to like a 2 hours video of people talking about dinosaurs and evolution and the migration of the animals from South America to North America and the Great Clash and all that. It's just like a personal interest though, because I don't think we can rap about dinosaurs in Perreo. Like, we can't imagine dinosaurs shaking ass. We can, but like, it's not something I want to do right now.
Most definitely. And aside from music, do you have any other talents or areas that you would like to explore?
Absolutely. I'm a very good artist, actually. I love illustrating. I do it in my free time now because now I'm like mostly invested in making music. But before I used to make like a lot of fan art, Steven Universe. If you're queer and you grew up like, you know, the Steven Universe. And what's the other one? Being Puppycat or something like that. I love that show. Rebecca, you need to bring back Steven Universe. No shade, like we miss Steven Universe. So I grew up watching that and making like fan arts of Steven Universe. Then it turned into like making other art that revolves around like my culture and my interests. Like I love black women. I always illustrate black women like the blueprint, obviously. And other than that, sometimes I do Drag Race fan art. No one knows that, actually. But yeah, last season I made a Jane Doe fan art because she was con. She should have won, but...
I love that.
All-Stars, girl.
Okay, so talk to me a little bit about your musical process. How do you get your tracks out? How do you make your beats? What goes into it?
So my musical process usually starts off with me having an idea of what I want to make. Maybe I want to make like a club theme song, or I want to like use this sample that was stuck in my head. For example, Yasuri Amulet, like growing up in Nicaragua, we always used to make fun of the Yasuri Amulet song from the internet, of course. But I was like, what if I take this song and make it like cunty, like, you know, we gotta bring back Yasuri, but bring her like revamp, remodel, like so they can get it, like in a more serious matter. So like, I think most of my music goes from humor to like something more, how would you say, thought out? Creo que sí, it might be, yeah, like put together. Like, I always making meme references in my songs, but it's like Latin American memes, so maybe no one get it. But it's like, Yasuri Amulet came from one, Papi Chulo, of course, from the classic Papi Chulo. But yeah, so it's like that. So I will like tell my producer, hey, can we sample this? And it might be some busted ass meme that no one's remember.
Do you want to shout out your producer?
Yeah, shout out to Jen Wab. Shout out to my baby Pino. We love Pino. And shout out to Hermes Knight, who is the only straight producer I've ever worked with. But he's like honorary straight. Like he got hit by the chain, no shade. But the rest of my producers are all queer people, trans people, because we are talented and we are gifted. So I like working with queer people that might get the vision more than working with a straight producer. I tried it, but like, that man's be boring in the studio, girl. You just want to get high and drink. Like, no, I here to make art. I here to like scratch someone's brain with some bullshit. No shit.
Come on. I love it. So you have a new project coming out called Reggae Cunt.
Yeah.
Tell me more about the title and how you came up with the project.
So Reggae Cunt, the title itself is like, of course, I'm cunt, we're cunt, queer people are cunt, but this is cunt. So I'm like, I'm making reggaeton, but it's not like the conventional, like, yeah, teta culo always in my song, but like, not from the point of view that eat teta culo, oh, puta, no sé qué. I can't say that here. Girl, we don't know. But yeah, so I was like, I'm making reggaeton, but I want to make reggaeton cunty again, like in the early 2000s. You heard all the woman samples, the dale, borero, dale, and that things like that. So I thought that was cunt growing up. So I'm like, I want to do that, but like in the present. But we're going to rename it, obviously, because it's not regular reggaeton that we are always listening to. So yeah, Reggae Cunt is all about making reggaeton fun and cunt and queer again.
Yes. I feel like it really comes through in your music. You sent me some tracks that are from your new project. I'm really, really excited for it. I feel like mainstream reggaeton has this very like sanitized sound to it, and it's like it's coming so straight out of the Atlantic Records factory. When I listened to your tracks, especially the ones that you sent me, it just felt like those CDs that my mom would play when we're like in the car, and she'd put it in the radio, and it'd be like, it sound a little crunchy,
it gotta
but
sound
beautiful
like
and like in the best way. Like it's like like you said, it's cunt. Like you hear that little like papi, it's beautiful, and
shout out to Billy.
It gives you that nostalgia, and I love it.
Yeah, like that's mostly what the sound of Reggae Cunt is based off, like 2000 nostalgia. Like as you mentioned, it sounds crunchy because like growing up, like listening to the Honduran, the Panamanian making reggaeton, it was never like a perfect or polished reggaeton. It was always sounding like they made it like in the closet with the sax on the mic or something like that. So that's what I'm going for intentionally.
I love it.
Because like I grew up on that, so I want to like represent it now because that's what made me as an artist, I guess.
Yeah, and speaking of the 2000s, I feel like your aesthetic is very much like a mixture of like Y2K mixed with like early 2010s. And so like, what are some like maybe like movies or TV shows that really inspired you to dress how you do, or like?
That's very interesting. I think that most of my fashion style came from looking at Héctor El Father and his live performances. The Brats. I'm obsessed with the Brats. I actually got a Bratz keychain right now. Like, shout out to the Brats. Y'all better sponsor me or something, girl. Like, we need sponsorships. We need deals. But I'm going to show you the keychain later. Don't want to come out. But, yeah, like, most of my inspiration is, like, from cartoons or from TV shows that I like to listen to. And also, like, my artists that I listen to today really influence me. So, yeah, I like the glitter. I like the big chains. I like to be flashy. I like to be campy. So it's all Y2K camp and cartoons. Like,
I love it. So I have one more question for you. For those who don't know, who is Yasuri Yamilet?
Yasuri Yamilet is a bad bitch. Don't say, like, when I made that song, actually in the title is like, bad bitch.
And how does one embody Yasuri Yamilet?
So Yasuri Yamilet is like a homage to all the women that were in my household growing up. Like I saw my mom getting ready to go out. I saw my aunts getting all blinged up and makeup done. Hair looks good. The outfit on point. So it's just like a homage to all of that. But it's also like confidence. It's also like the girl from the hood, like the hood que no hay nada, like el barrio todo acabado, but girl, you look good when you stepping out. No one know you're going back to that hood afterwards. Like, it's like confidence with it. It has the energy of like a bad bitch. That's what Yasuri is. The bad bitches that are outside, all my Latinas, my Morenas, my black girls, that's Yasuri Yamilet. Anyone who's a bad bitch.
So you hear to hear first. When you step out, make sure you're stepping out like Yasuri Yamilet.
Exactly. Be a Yasuri Yamilet in life, girl.
Yes. Well, Dizzy Smarp, thank you so much for coming on to this show so much. Before you leave, I do want to give you a gift. So this is a book. It's called How Black Music Took Over the World. It's by Melvin Gibbs. He is a Grammy-nominated artist, and he's also a cultural theorist. And it just talks about how black music really embodied everything that we listen to now. All modern music stems from black music.
Exactly.
And not just from black music, but from black movement, from black spirituality, from black bodies. And with your interest in bodies and evolution, there's a lot of things that relate in this book. So I think you'll really, really enjoy it.
Thank you so much. I'm going to start reading now.
Yes.
Bye-bye to dinosaur videos in the night.
Of course. So thank you so much, Dizzy.
Thank
It's been amazing to have you on the show.
Reading. Y'all need to read more.
Y'all need to read.
Literally.
Come on. Dizzy will be back in a little bit to give us an amazing performance. One more time for Dizzy Smarp, everybody. Come on. Come on. Love him, love him, love him. That was a really great interview. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I know you guys are going to enjoy his performance in a little bit. So now it's time to get into some topics that are a little bit more heavy, a little bit more focused, and maybe not as funny, but very important. I think this show, we want to get into the fun and the kikis and the ha-has, but we really want to get into what's important. So today I really want to open up with talking about the earthquake doublet that happened in Venezuela. A few days ago, there were 2 earthquakes that rocked Venezuela, a 7.5 earthquake, and then literally less than a minute later, a 7.2 earthquake hit right after. These earthquakes devastated the country in unimaginable ways. There is, according to the Associated Press, the death toll has reached at least 1,430 people, with at least 68,900 missing. So this is something that is affecting the entire country. No matter where you're from, no matter who you are, it is important to put your heart out to Venezuela because this is something that hasn't been experienced in a long, long time. And so rescue teams are flying in from all over the world. I've seen videos of people coming from El Salvador, from Colombia, from the United States, from Canada, Mexico, to come and help with finding people and with all the destruction that's going on. And it's very, very helpful because the government in Venezuela right now is not really doing much. They're not releasing much information. And so it's pretty much all on the foreign aid that's coming into Venezuela to help with the situation. Venezuela was a major help to Haiti in 2010 during the 2010 earthquakes in Haiti. And I am almost 100% sure that had things not gone the way they did, Haiti would be in Venezuela right now helping the same way. And speaking of Haiti, it just brings up the problems and the pushback when it comes to foreign aid, especially foreign aid that comes from the United States and from the United Nations, because as we all know, over $13.5 billion was raised by the United Nations to help the devastation in Haiti in 2010, but the Haitian people never saw a dollar of that money. It has been almost 20 years, and there are still thousands of people living in encampments and makeshift settlements in Haiti because their entire lives were uprooted almost 20 years ago, and nothing has been able to be done for them. So I really hope that this is not the case for Venezuela. I really hope that Venezuela is able to get the aid that they need. So when you are donating, when you are sending your donations, when you are helping, make sure you look into the organizations that you are donating to, because you want to make sure that this money is going directly into the hands of the Venezuelans. You want to make sure this money is going directly into the hands and on the grounds, getting people the food, the aid, the child care, the feminine care that they need, that they don't have right now because of how destroyed the infrastructure is there. So once again, do your due diligence. Please make sure that you are donating correctly and to research organizations. And once again, I really want to give all of my thoughts, prayers, and everything that I possibly can to the Venezuelan people. I know that it seems crazy coming from a first world country talking about, thoughts and prayers, but in reality, it's such a problem, and it's such a devastation. Like I said, I don't want to see the same thing that's happened already to Haiti happen to Venezuela. So if you have the means, please open that purse and send it out to Venezuela. Staying within the region, I would like to touch on a subject that may be a little bit controversial, but it is happening, and it's happening in our faces right now, and that is the rise of fascism in Latin America. Right-wing leaders in Latin America have been coming through and winning elections like crazy in the past few years. We have Milei in Argentina, who is an Elon Musk crony, super tied in with the Trump administration, and is all about cutting bureaucracy so much that he cut so much bureaucracy that 2,000 industries within the country got shut down, and it resulted in a loss of 73,000 jobs. You have Bukele in El Salvador, another Trump crony who made deals with the CCOP prison that is sending undocumented people that don't have criminal records here in the United States to the CCOP prison in El Salvador, where they are subject to insane conditions. And he's adopting extremely authoritarian policies within his government that is causing so much unrest and arbitrary detentions, deaths, and torture. we have Cast in Chile. And Cast in Chile has been talking about all of the budget cuts that he wants to make to put more money into the hands of people of Chile. But these budget cuts have resulted in bankrupting hospitals around the countries, deregulating environmental protections and threatening biodiversities, and cutting food aid to people that they had for decades that now people cannot afford food because the food aid that they once had and depended on is now no more. And once again, in alignment with the Trump administration. And to top it off, we have the new president of Colombia who won a shady election after accusations of Israeli interference, then who also randomly became Catholic after years of being a vocal atheist, a la J.D. Vance. Somebody who is extremely homophobic, even though Colombia has an extremely large gay population, queer population, somebody who wants to use lethal force against political opponents, somebody who literally blew up cats when he was in college, and as a defense attorney, defended all of the shady underworld figures in Colombia that everybody is trying to say that he is going to protect us from. He was the defender of them in court. He's backed by Trump, and he's super inspired by Trump, and it shows through in his campaign that was overtly misogynistic. And it's just insane to see. I've seen a lot of queer people on Instagram supporting him and voted for him here in Miami, and it's like this guy is trying to destroy your entire life if you were to ever go back to your country. And so it's really sad to see that the fear of socialism due to the situations in Cuba and Venezuela and the massive amounts of American propaganda that have gone through for decades into the Latin American region have caused the people to be so fearful that they are voting for people that are literally stripping them of all of their basic human rights. And it's not to be noted that there are a lot of American far-right figures that have a lot of interest in Latin America. For one, you have Peter Thiel, who randomly a few weeks ago packed up and moved to Argentina in the middle of the night and bought a $12 million mansion out there. You have Elon Musk, who is extremely interested in deregulating the lithium reserves in Argentina because he needs lithium for his electric car batteries. The Kushners, they own Affinity Partners, a private equity group in Latin America that is buying up a bunch of infrastructure and technology companies that handle most of the infrastructure and technology in Latin America. And then you have Trump, who all of his cronies are the new leadership in Latin America. It's looking to me personally as if this is a possible escape route for the people in the power right now. The tides are shifting, things are changing, people are looking more left than they were right than ever before, and the people in power know that. So they need somewhere that they can go and run away to when everything shifts to avoid accountability and avoid prosecution. And it's also very important to note that Israel has a very large stake in Latin America as well. Currently, the president Milei allowed people to purchase areas of the Patagonia that have been recently burnt down through wildfire. And it's also been reported that there have been a lot of Israelis that have been arrested in Argentina for setting fires in the Patagonia. So there are major connections, especially when you consider that Argentina was once one of the original proposals for Israel proper when they were in the 40s trying to decide where they were going to put Israel. A lot of questions there, a lot of things to think about. And in connection to that, when you see how the rise in fascism is going in Latin America, you can kind of note the rise of democratic socialism that's happening here in the States. This past week in New York City, the NYC DSA had an immense sweep. They're calling Zoran Mamdani, mayor of New York City, a kingmaker. 8 of his candidates that he supported all won their primaries, and a lot of them unseated incumbents that have been in the party for a long, long time, major playmakers in the Democratic Party. And because of this, we have now seen the Promise to America Pledge, which is 15 House Democrat members and nominees that created the Democrats Against Progress Coalition, and it's aimed at taking down the DSA. Their whole thing is that the DSA should make their own party and leave the Democratic base alone because the Democrats need people that are quote-unquote reasonable. And it's very important to note that the Democratic establishment is using its black figureheads to push anti-DSA rhetoric in an attempt to make socialism seem anti-black. You have New York Attorney General Letitia James, who accused Mamdani and the DSA of blowing up the Democratic Party. You have Van Jones on every TV station yelling that reasonable Democrats, they're telling them that they need to do the same things that we have been telling them to do since 2016, such as knocking on doors, engaging your voters, coming up with solutions to problems that help with affordability and the crises that we're facing in this country and abroad. And he's using very specific language to militarize the DSA, saying that the DSA is creating armies of door knockers and they are sending platoons to influence the elections. And so, very, very strange way of putting people that are literally just doing their civic duty. And then to top it off, you have the former DNC chair, Jamie Harrison, who was just on Twitter crying that the DSA needs to make its own party and stop stealing the Democratic base. However, for the past 10 years, you guys have been begging all leftists to not make their own parties, not vote third party. Please vote with us. We need to vote blue all the way across the ballot. The big blue tent, we need to stick together. But now that the blue is not your blue, we're not in royal blue now, we're in a little bit of cayenne, we're in a little bit of indigo, y'all get scared, and y'all don't want to do the big blue tent no more. Y'all don't want to vote blue no matter who no more. Now it's make your own party. But what happens when we make our own party and you tell everybody don't vote third party, you're splitting up the vote. That's the problem with the Democratic establishment right now. And the Democratic establishment needs to know that we are coming for you. It is your time. Your time is up. We have given you so much time to handle these problems. We have given you so much time to solve these issues. And what have you done? You've given us Trump for a second term. Don't blame that on the leftists. That was you. You offered us absolutely nothing. And so now we are giving everybody what we deserve. Remember, you are the proletariat, you are the working class, and they are not working for you. We are working for you. So I implore everybody to look up their local DSA chapter and get involved. Because if nobody's going to do it, we are going to do it. So now I want to get into something a little bit more pride related, and that is the white gaze. I feel like every pride it comes around and we get all this discourse of white gays, and I feel like the white gays feel like everybody's always dogging on them and everybody hates them. And I mean, I just feel like there's reasons. It's not that we hate you. It's not that we don't want you in the community. It's just the way that you comport yourselves, and maybe it isn't all of you, but it's the majority of you. You don't see other gays crying on Twitter that nobody wants them because of desirability, because that nobody wants to be monogamous them. You see white gays that are constantly crying about, I can't find a monogamous partner, nobody wants to take me seriously. You created the system. You created this. You excluded everybody, othered everybody else, and created a community exclusively with white muscle gays. And you copulated with all of those white muscle gays who copulated with all the other white muscle gays. And now you are in a community with a bunch of people that you've already been with, and you don't feel like anybody is worthy of you. And so you're upset. That is what you created. And now you want to go and peddle around in people of colors, parties, and black spaces, black events, trying to find a partner and giving this whole woe is me. But no, it's your fault. So you need to solve that, keep that within your community, and take it off the internet. Nobody wants to see you cry. It's too much. It's too much. And it's not to say that we don't want white people at all of our black queer functions, because it's not the case. You know, everybody has a little white friend here and there. But the problem that we have is that you want to take up space in black functions. I remember all of this discourse about DC Pride, where there was that white gay that he was trying to get in all the pictures and be Mr. DC Black Pride, and he was whiter than paper. And it's like, he also was in controversy years ago for dating the first openly gay college football player. And it's just like, he's constantly in controversy, being in black people's business, and it seems like it's a pattern. It seems like it's something that he wants to do. And I think that's the reality. I think white queers who have been othered by other white queer people try to find a way to make themselves the stars of queer people of color and black queer people in those spaces, and it's not fair. You guys are taking up resources. You guys come to the parties and do the raffles and try to win the prizes and walk the balls and win the money, and it's like, these are things that are reserved for us. We're trying to give back to us, and I get it. You might be cunt, you might be that bitch, but at the end of the day, you're in a black space, so know how to move in a black space, and that's just very important. And I think it's very important to note that there are so many problems when it comes to white gays being in black spaces. We have such an issue in the community where you have these older white gays who are going to black gay spaces and black gay parties, finding young black 20-somethings, taking them back to their homes and getting them hooked on meth. I'm not gonna call it Tina, I'm not gonna call it the little balloon, I'm gonna call it meth, because it is meth, it's not cute. And all these people, you have all these white old gays getting young black kids hooked on meth and essentially enslaving them, making them their sex slaves, moving them into the mansion. You can't get a job, you can't do this, you can't do that, I want you here. And then next thing you know, you're gonna see the white man on the jet ski talking about white man murders black gay in his apartment complex. And that's the problem. We don't need any more of that. And just to kind of like round out the discussion in the white gay, so I don't want to harp on y'all too much, I just really want to touch on the issue of the oppression Olympics. I think a problem that a lot of white queer people do is they feel like because they're queer, oh, now I have a seat at the table of the oppressed table, and now I'm a part of the group. And they find some sort of pride in it rather than trying to figure out how to dismantle these issues and try how to tackle these issues. They find it like, now I can do whatever I want because I'm queer and I'm oppressed just like you. And it's an issue. There is a major issue in this world. There is astronomical amounts of issue with oppression against the queer community, especially against trans people. Trans people are some of the most oppressed people on this planet. But that does not negate the reality that there is no form of oppression as powerful and as ingrained into our systems and our society as anti-blackness. Anti-blackness is something that you cannot escape no matter what you do, and it is extremely evident in the queer community because if you are a white queer person, if you are a white trans person, yes, you are oppressed. Yes, you have your issues, but you can look to the side and know that you have a privilege over the black trans woman that's sitting right next to you. Nobody is in an oppressed class the same way as black trans women are because there is misogyny, there is anti-blackness in there, and there's transphobia. And so all of that to say, just if your radical trans feminism does not center dismantling trans misogyny, then it's not trans feminism, it's clans feminism. That's it. Moving on, I would like to talk about something that's actually affecting everybody really bad right now. I don't want to get too much into it because we are running out of time, but I do want to make it clear because everybody should be aware of this. And that is these issues of AI, the data centers, the age verification, and hypersurveillance. Currently, there are 1,500 new data centers planned in the United States. And some of these data centers are the size of small cities. According to the WRI, by 2028, the US could be using 32 billion gallons of water a year solely on the data centers. And these data centers are often placed in Black or Latino communities, displacing millions and millions of citizens and polluting the water and polluting the air. These data centers release toxic chemicals into the air. So when you look at your air quality in your neighborhood, you see you shouldn't be going outside, but it's not because you did something, it's because somebody decided to put a data center a mile away from you. And with these data centers, not only does it destroy our environment, our quality of life, it also raises our prices. If you think that these utility companies are charging the bill of these data centers to the companies that own these data centers, that's just absolutely false. They are raising your prices. They are raising your electric rates, your water rates. All of your usage is being increased to subset the usage of the data centers. So we are paying for these data centers that they like to tell you that you're using because everybody uses ChatGPT. Everybody's making AI videos, which is stupid. Stop making the flyers, all your little flyers that look like they're made on the ChatGPT with the neon lights and the fried chicken that looks super weird. Stop making those damn flyers. Stop making those videos. I'm a housewife fan. I've seen the white dress trend. It's cute, but it could be done with Photoshop. Stop using AI. It's not necessary. It's not. You have the brain capacity. You are a person. We are social creatures. You can use this brain of yours to make that same exact flyer, or if you can't, you can hire somebody that will use their actual talent to make those. If you are using that to save some money because, oh, I don't have the money, then you shouldn't be doing these events if you don't have the money to pay $50 to $80 for a flyer. Let's wake it up. And so they're telling you that all of these things that you're using, that's what we need the data centers for. That is a lie. That is not what it's for. These data centers are collecting data on you. If you haven't noticed, there are these black poles with these like solar panels on them everywhere. Those are flock cameras. You can go online and you can look at these flock cameras and see where they are. If you don't know what flock cameras do, flock cameras, they read your face, they scan it, and then they use all of the different locations to find your movement. And then they can predict using AI if you're going to commit a crime. And then they can make sure that they surveil you to find out when you commit that crime and come and catch you. That is what those flock cameras are for, and they are literally everywhere. You go on Miami, it looks like a sea. You go on the website, you see Miami, it is a sea of flock cameras. That is what that is used for. Flock cameras are these data centers are used for things like what happened just the other day with Grok. Grok, Elon Musk's AI that uses these same data centers, launched 2,000 rockets at Iran. This is something the Pope just recently spoke about, that AI should not be making decisions of life or death. But nobody cares. It's making money. Let's put the data center, let's get the data. And the thing is, it's like, what can we do about it, right? Like, how is it like our fault? And it's not our fault. Our individual consumer decisions do not affect these things in the grand scheme of things. But you have to be aware. I am somebody that loves Pokemon Go. I haven't played it in a while because Pokemon Go was training AI on how to walk through paths. How those robots that you see, that I'm pretty sure somebody's controlling them, but they use AI data that was created by Pokemon Go that show you the paths that people walk to catch their Pokemon. That's something that everybody did for years and is now being used to find people and missile targets, capture responses. Anytime that you are verifying that you're a human and you're clicking the street lights or the bicycles, you're showing them how to target street lights and bicycles and babies. Snapchat filters and Instagram challenges and TikTok challenges. When you're giving your face to these AI, they're making models of you to use to create whatever the hell they want to create. And not only that, you're doing these acting challenges where you're showing your different tone of voice so AI can learn how to use that tone of voice and recreate voices to do whatever it is that they want. And that's something that people just really need to be more aware of. And I feel like they kind of tested the waters for it, and you're seeing it before, but it wasn't in our face, but now you're seeing it back. If you remember, in 2016 to 2020, while police brutality has been something that has been major in our country forever, you had this major publicization of videos of police brutality. It stopped after 2020 for a while. The police brutality was still happening, but the video stopped. And now, all of a sudden, we're getting all of these videos of police brutality. You had the lady who her dog got shot 3 times while wearing a Knicks jersey for her celebrating the Knicks winning. Nowhere. You had another lady whose 1-year-old child was murdered by the police for no reason. Employees at Walmart decided that she stole some diapers, even though she had the receipt for said diapers. She showed the receipt. They let her go. The police followed her. She got in the car to drive away. They shot into the car a bunch of times and killed her 1-year-old child. And that is the thing that we are dealing with. And they are showing it you in your face for a reason. The ICE killings, Keith Porter, Renee Good, Alex Preddy, these killings they are showing you because they want you to react. And the reason they want you to react, it can be seen in those people that just recently racked up a collective 450 years in jail for protesting. There were people that were sentenced for 50 years in jail for making zines that were not even at the actual protest. That is why they're making sure that we see these videos so we get mad and we go out to fight it, and they use those flock cameras to get to our house and sentence us to 50 years, and now we're working in their slave labor private prison camps. That is exactly what this is for, and we have to be vigilant about it. And just to wrap it all up, I just want to say, this is all planned. This has all been the plan. If you know who it is, you know who it is. We have these people that recently just got released. Now you can go online and see exactly who the people are. But you have the head, Mr. Peter Thiel, and his Dialogue Society, that they are controlling this. Peter Thiel, if you don't know who he is, he's a German-American entrepreneur, the co-founder of PayPal with Elon Musk. He's a conservative activist while being a gay man married with children. And he's also the owner of Palantir that is putting up these flock cameras to watch everybody. Palantir, if you don't know, they have data on all of us. They're watching us. They're sending that data right to you know who. And so that's just where that is. But you have he created this group called Dialogue, where they throw workshops and conferences, and you have people, like you would guess, like Elon Musk, Ted Cruz, Josh Brolin, Neil Mohan. But then you have those changing it from the inside people, like Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Cory Booker. Why are you there? What are you there? And really, why are you there? Because the workshops that they are doing at these conferences have titles such as Navigating World War III, Disinformation and Deepfakes, Build a Cult. It's fun to be in charge. These are actual titles. You can go and look up Dialogue and you will see these are the actual titles of the workshop. But this isn't the first time he's done it. Peter Thiel has also funded other secret societies, like Founders Fund, where they had workshops such as You're Probably a Eugenicist and How to Steal an Election. So what is the end goal? Is this a whole thing to do a stored human consciousness and put us in Mars? I don't think so. I think there's something much more nefarious that they're going for, but it's going to come out. This has all been accumulating. This is all the Epstein class. And even to show more that this is the Epstein class, dialogue was specifically mentioned in the Epstein files. They were said to limit the discussion to only 150 global leaders who can have impact now and emerging leaders who can help implement the plans we develop. That is in the Epstein files. These people who are raping children, who are eating children, who are hunting black people, are creating secret societies to build cults, navigate World War III, and steal elections. Make sure you know what is going on. So that concludes all of what I have to say for all of our issues that are plaguing us for this month. Next month, we might talk about something a little bit different. But for now, I really would like to introduce you guys back to Dizzy Smarp.
Hello. How y'all feeling? Girl, Diego just woke it up, no shame. I was invested. But just to piggyback on what Diego said, white queer people, y'all need to be more conscious when you're in black spaces. Be more conscious, be more educated, and be more respectful. And that's it. Let me perform some songs for y'all. Also, for reparations, y'all should book me. That's all I'm saying. Now we're gonna perform Yasuri Abelet for my bad bitches in the studio and outside. Period. Dizzy. El papi chulo. Si tú eres bad bitch, mami, esto va pa' ti. La que en el bolso siempre tiene buena shit. Ponte el lip gloss, mami, antes de salir. Llega a la disco y la ponen en el beat. Ella es nena fina con actitudes de mala. Y todas la conocen porque trae las chavalas. Calenturas de la buena, el perreo siempre suena. Las amigas le perrean y pa' la mota siempre jala. Mami, mami, ya tú sabes que lo que. Mami, mami, mejor dime lo que es. Papi, no te metas con la Yamile, que te pone una yes si te saca la ile. Mami, mami, ya tú sabes que lo que. Mami, mami, mejor dime lo que es. Papi, no te metas con la Yamile, que te pone una yes si te saca la ile. Para los nenes y las nenas nunca hay problema. No importa, siempre ha sido el dilema. Siempre he estado muy buena, solo mire esa morena. Y Azuri es la crema de la crema. Muame ese culo bombastic. Cuando ella sale el outfit queda fantastic. Ella no es Barbie pero las tetas son plastic. De todos sabores siempre anda con chapstick. Con un tatu de mariposa, la falda color rosa. La nena más hermosa el party. Ella se pone peligrosa si un gato se le roza. Y Azuri always get her own money. En la pista no le gana porque lo deja ahí a más. She's so tired of these niggas that she be up in pijamas. Caliente like the Bahamas. En la calle una dama, pero no importa, perrea los fines de semana. Mami, mami, ya tú sabes que lo que. Mami, mami, mejor dime lo que es. Papi, no te metas con la Yamile, que te pone una yes si te saca la ile. Mami, mami, ya tú sabes que lo que. Mami, mami, mejor dime lo que es. Papi, no te metas con la Yamile, que te pone una yes si te saca la ile. Mami, mami, ya tú sabes que lo que. Mami, mami, mejor dime lo que es. Papi, no te metas con la Yamile, que te pone una yes si te saca la ile. Mami, mami, ya tú sabes que lo que. Mami, mami, mejor dime lo que es. Papi, no te metas con la Yamile, que te pone una yes si te saca la ile. Dizzy, el papi chulo del perreo. Escucha esto. And this one was for all my Latinas, my black girls, my morenas, my sexy bomb girlies. Shout out to all the bad bitches. Girl, give me a second. Run it back, DJ. I'm thirsty. This one is an unreleased song from my upcoming EP, Reggaeton. And the title is Reggaeton, because we do reggaeton, but we make it con. Hit this. Escucha esto, Dizzy, el papi chulo del perreo. Estoy en busca de los nenes y en busca de las nenas. Ando con la gata, siempre rompe discoteca. Cazando a los nenes y cazando a todas las nenas. Ando con la gata, siempre rompe discoteca. Ando con la gata, ando con la gata, ando con la gata, siempre rompe discoteca. Ando con la gata, ando con la gata, ando con la gata, siempre rompe discoteca. La party se prende cuando entramos en el bloque. Ven mami, pégate y pégame ese culote. Me gustan las gorditas que la lonja le rebote. No me llames Dizzy, mejor dime papazote. Las gatas no quieren sexo, quieren el reggaetón. Moviéndose el culo mientras se fuman su blunt. La falda siempre mini, rosadito su tacón. Chacales con tatuajes, con pancita y tetón. Mami, te firmo esa teta. Todas mis gatitas siempre rompen discoteca, puñeta. Ve mami, te firmo esa teta. Todas mis gatitas siempre rompen discoteca, puñeta. Estoy en busca de los nenes y en busca de las nenas. Ando con la gata, siempre rompen discoteca. Cazando a los nenes y cazando a todas las nenas. Ando con la gata, siempre rompen discoteca. Ando con la gata, ando con la gata, ando con la gata, siempre rompen discoteca. Ando con la gata, ando con la gata, ando con la gata, siempre rompen discoteca. Ron, macarón, tintero, las gatas quieren perreo. Ron, macarón, tintero, el tequila me pone en celo.
You are now listening to
El papi chulo del perreo.
bitch. Y que vive.
Reguare, güey, la gran puta. Dame perreo, dame perreo, dame perreo, dame. Estoy en busca de los nenes y en busca de las nenas. Ando con la gata, siempre rompen discoteca. Cazando a los nenes y cazando a todas las nenas. Ando con la gata, siempre rompen discoteca. Ando con la gata, ando con la gata, ando con la gata, siempre rompen discoteca. Ando con la gata, ando con la gata, ando con la gata, siempre rompen discoteca. Dame perreo, dame perreo. Estoy en busca de los nenes y en busca de las nenas. Ando con la gata, siempre rompen discoteca. Cazando a los nenes y cazando a todas las nenas. Ando con la gata, siempre rompen discoteca. Ando con la gata, ando con la gata, ando con la gata, siempre rompen discoteca. Ando con la gata, ando con la gata, ando con la gata, siempre rompen discoteca.
Dame perreo,
Dame perreo,
dame perreo,
dame perreo,
dame perreo,
dame perreo.
dame perreo.
Dame es una gata, una sata, una puta peligrosa. Es una gata, una sata, una puta peligrosa. Es una gata, una sata, una gata, una gata, una gata, una sata, una puta peligrosa.
Una puta peligrosa.
Ya tú sabes.
El papi chulo del perreo, bitch.
Reggaeton.
Fue la gran puta.
Culo puñeta. Yeah, I like that one, did you? Yeah, I got that preview exclusive for Wake It Up. And we gonna keep waking it up with my next song, El Atraco. If you like dembow, if you like dancehall, then this your song, sisters. Yeah. El atraco, el atraco. El atraco, el atraco. El atraco, el atraco. El atraco, el atraco. Booty para arriba y la mano para abajo. Booty para arriba y la mano para abajo. Booty para arriba y la mano para abajo. Llamen a la poli que se armó el desacató. El atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco. El atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco. Listen. ¿Será que llamen a la poli que se está descontrolando? Todas las baby que se andan en el mambo. Y aquí está en la pista y en la cama como Rambo. La popola siempre anda atracando. Catch pan the side on your head for your scared. Real bad gal, next gal, them a fake. Every time say me come, no say me can't stay. With a big fat body, better serve me a plate. Slim thick que se llame bad gal. O una morenita like toquilla, la popola quiero una bombshell. Como mami la vía, no que me lleve pa'l punto a capearme otro gramo. Amo, booty para arriba y la mano para abajo. Booty para arriba y la mano para abajo. Booty para arriba y la mano para abajo. Llamen a la poli que se armó el desacató. El atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco. El atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco. Look, tengo genie en la mano y en la otra otra una juca. Busco una cuero que camine con la uva, la uva, la uva, la uva, bombón. Mami, dime que lo que, ya llegó tu tiburón. Cuando cae la noche me la llevo pa'l club. Luego llamo a la Mari, me la trae el plug. Luego shot, 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 so my bitches se salud. I be chilling with the stars and I. Me dijo, chúpame la teta con una chuleta. Una moto mami, yo que soy motocicleta. Ese culo es un libro, yo que soy poeta. Pronto viene el coito, me dicen profeta. Puti para arriba y la mano para abajo. Puti para arriba y la mano para abajo. Puti para arriba y la mano para abajo. Llamen a la poli que se armó el desacato. El atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco. Ja, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco, el atraco. Ey, ey. Dizzy. Dizzy. Ya. El atraco, el atraco. 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 Girl is hot. No shade. Woo. And this is my last song I'm going to be performing since we're spoiling y'all with unreleased song. This song is called Bunda. Me se sua bunda. Let me take a sip before we continue. Bunda is Brazilian funk and dance soul. So I know y'all had never heard something like this before. DJ, hit that one.
This is my song.
Ouvi isso.
Easy. O garoto
Me sente sua pau gostoso. Listen. Toda garota que mexe na bunda, 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 que mexe sua bunda, 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 que mexe sua bunda. Eu me nome disse prazer em conhecer. Hoje tenho nova dança que você tem que fazer. Esse garoto gostoso pretinha na mexa na bunda como na película. Eu gosto muito de você e sua garoto também. Mexa sua pau, mexa sua pau. Toda garota na pista vem e mexa-me sua cu. Mexa-me sua cu. Mexa-me sua cu. Toda garota na pista vem e mexa-me sua cu. Mexa-me sua cu. Listen, give it a wine and shake, make your body vibrate. Do a split, then a skate like you're there home plate. Body 4+4, girl, cause the figure 8. All the girl them mad, cause the girl them fake. And me girl them a turn up and freaky. They don't always shake, but the bitches be sneaky. Give a fuck cause they watch us like TV. We shaking that, turning up at my CC. Wind up the waist, girl, I shake off your bumper. Wind up the waist, girl, I shake off your bumper. Wind up the waist, girl, I shake off your bumper. Wind up the waist, girl, I shake off your bumper. Bumper, 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 bumper. Girl, shake off your bumper. Bumper, 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 bumper. Girl, give me that kind. Bad girl, come and give me that cunt. Rude boy, come and give me that cunt. The girl, come and give me that cunt. Come and give me that cunt. Come and give me that cunt. Bad girl, come and give me that cunt. Rude girl, come and give me that cunt. The girl, come and give me that cunt. Come and give me that cunt. Come and give me that cunt. Garota en la pista, ven y méchame la cu. Méchame sua cu. Méchame sua cu. Toda garota en la pista, ven y méchame sua cu. Méchame sua cu. Méchame sua cu. Bad boy, come and give me that card. Right, come and give me that card. Girl, come and give me that cunt. Come and give me that cunt. Come and give me that cunt card. Boy, come and give me that card. Bad boy, come and give me that card. Bad girl, come and give me that cunt. Come and give me that cunt. Come and give me that cunt card. T-girl, come and give me that cunt. T-boy, come and give me that cunt. Batty girl, come and give me that cunt. Come and give me that cunt. Come and give me that cunt. Yeah. We giving cunt in every language, but it's no shade.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It was such a pleasure. Always amazing to have Dizzy with us. His music is, you already know, over. And so just to say goodnight to everybody, I would like to remind everybody there are many ways that you can support Venezuela anywhere that you are, from being in the United States, being in Europe, China, Japan. wherever you are, there are organizations that are on the ground and that are giving these your donations, your money, your clothing, your food directly into the hands of Venezuelan people. So find those organizations and make sure you do your part just as everybody else should. Also, I just want to give a real quick rest in peace to my grandma who recently passed. I know if you were still here, you'd be watching this show and you'd be having a great time. So rest in peace, Abuela Julia. And I also want to give a quick rest in peace to a family friend who also just recently passed, Grandma Lucy. You are forever in our hearts as well. So thank you guys so much, so much. It was amazing having you guys, especially you guys here in the audience and you guys at home. You guys' energy kept me up throughout the whole show. And I'm just really grateful to be here and really grateful to share with you guys. So I have some braised ribs that I have to get to in the oven tonight. So with that being said, good night, everybody.
Support Venezuela and eat more arepas, girl. Bye. Mwah.
And most importantly, stay woke.